with another video. So I'm feeling like doing a couple of these shorts today, right? So again, I'm just sitting here observing the information again, like I said, in the energy, okay? And then looking into things as a whole, right? So there's this energy now since, okay, so we see that whatever's going on with the Biden administration, right, has people looking at, excuse me, if we just get rid of Biden, right? Then if we just rid of the head, right? Then the what appears to be the head. Okay. If we get rid of the head, everything will be okay. Biden has to go. All right. But there's also this energy, but like I said, I do feel like there is something like mind control or something being done on that particular individual. And I feel like it's the administration that is the sore. So again, that is very fucking dangerous. If you have the head that's sick, right? So again, I'm feeling like the sickness of the head is what's contaminating the body. The head, meaning the president, must be being compromised in some kind of way, possibly with some type of 5G technology or something like that. All right. So again, if I feel like that's going on with me being the so-called sitting president, spiritual energy, right? Then again, like I said, that can be, if that's going on here, then it may be going on there. If the earth is rejecting its king of all kings because they don't agree with how she operates, right? That Yeshua energy or whatever, okay? Or because they have been given someone that is idol or a celebrity status that they trust, that have been able to maneuver or contact these people or use some kind of 5G energy to tap into these people's mind and get them to rebel or be an antibody or an antichrist to their Messiah, okay, energy, or that chosen one, you know what I'm saying? Because that person is just a low life that just sits at home and does nothing all day. When this is a body on its own that is producing all of the energy for this particular body to come up. It was not supposed to come up against that person. It was supposed to uplift that person or encourage that person or be with that person and build with that person, right? But they rejected that person. They put an idol there for you to worship, okay? So again, this whole thing about me looking at this in a different, well, I always look at it at this light, but expressing it a little bit more so we can get a bigger and better understanding as to what may be going on here. Okay. So if I look at it like that, all right, where they're trying to make it seem like that, right? But what are they getting us to not look at? They're getting us to not look at the fact that it is like the government being mm, hijacked or being uh housing these powers that shouldn't be. Okay, these principalities and rulers that we're going to be fighting against, not against flesh and blood, but principalities and rulers. So, like I said, it's not against the flesh and blood. When I'm talking about family members, it's not necessarily me targeting them. Okay, it's about the energy or the vibe or whatever they're giving off. Because again, if people will say we're talking about current or currency or God being energy or something like that. Okay, so again, if you think about it from that aspect, then you'll see that anybody can be being used by God or Satan. Okay. But I'm looking at it as though that's a good way to go ahead and say, oh, you need Trump. So it's not like we need somebody that's going to clean this up for real and not have no ties or nothing like this, or we need the person that God sent for us. No, as soon as they start to discredit Biden, then they want to say, then the next thing, best thing that we can only have is Trump. Well, what if there's some fucking body else? You see what I'm saying? Because obviously, again, he is another cornerstone possibly that is being rejected. So just to be all fair and balanced, I have to say it how I see it. Okay. When he was in, the same thing. Oh, it's Trump, it's Trump. We're not looking at all the other shit that's going on around. We're not looking at the government itself, right? And seeing if these people have the credentials, they have everything in need. We've been sitting here like idiots, so-called voting for, which is also voting is making a vow, is making a vow to God. And then that means that you must be worshiping these presidents as if they were God. And maybe that's the problem, all right? Is that you're not picking someone that is fair and balanced or somebody who has come and bring order. Okay, you're picking someone, or you're not even picking them. Mm, the what is it? whatever college, okay, is selecting these people and acting as though you have chosen one of these motherfuckers. Let's just keep it, let's keep it real, okay? So if I'm thinking about this from another aspect, this is whatever is going on with Biden that's going to force people to want to, if we keep calling it, something about it's has to do with the Democrats or Republican or Trump or Biden, we're missing the whole point, that the whole shit is corrupt and that something needs to be changed or something needs to be altered. All right. So then this is going to force people, and now, like, I was just watching somebody, they said it seems like Republicans are using Trump's pain in order to get people to come back over to the Republican side. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just thinking, we acting like there's no other, like, independent in between or something like this, that another somebody could choose to go ahead and run under those particular uh under that particular status. It's just something very weird that I feel is going on here. And I just don't be understanding how people can't see or read between the lines. And I feel like there is just something that has happened here. People have been altered by antidotes. Something has been changed or shifted here. All right. Something about this mark of the beast. This could be the antidote here. Okay. This may be why some people that maybe didn't take it feel like they are the ones that are outcast or whatever, because these people have been connected by whichever three. Because there's three different ones, right? Maybe even more now, but the three main ones that they talk about, okay? And I feel like that's as above and so below, or people with one so-called nationality and people with all the other, or that are looked at as minorities. You know what I'm saying? Like they were saying that maybe so-called Caucasian people were getting a different version of it than other people. But if you think about it, we all have different makeups, genetics, and stuff like that. So again, what works for one group of people may shift and alter other people in a different way or a different light here. All right. So this is about, like, kind of like, I don't know, whatever this is about control. I feel like something backfired here. Something backfired very heavily. So again, we can't just look at it as the construct being faulty, the foundation being faulty. It's always got to be, yeah, if we just get rid of this one person, everything's going to be better. If we get rid of the Republicans, things are going to be better. If we get rid of Trump, things are going to be better. If we get rid of Biden, it's going to be better. If we get rid of the Democrats, it'll be better, when it's really just not. No matter what color you are, there's good and there's bad, and that's just it. Right now, the bad seem to be outweighing the good because people are in this desirous energy here. A lot of people are dealing with a lot of money that they probably never had in their life, and this is causing some type of chaos here upon the earth here. This is where you're getting your global warming and your Earth's core warming up. It's just, I don't know. I just can't stand mass manipulation. I say everybody has skeletons in their closets or secrets or something, that, again, because we are so-called humans, or we're different beings having these experiences here, you know, who's to say you're not allowed to have those? If we're going to exploit one person's secrets and everything, then let's just go ahead and exploit everybody's then. It's just something that I feel, it's just, this has been like a targeted attack here. This is like the first time when the real feminine God energy has been able to submerge here, okay, on this plane. And I feel like she is being attacked by, not only other women, which is sad, but masculine energy too. This puts women in a light here, especially ones that have been, walking with their head up, or finding themselves again, or healing that energy of sisterhood that was dead for a while. I feel like those are a lot of masculine energy noticed that we were going in that direction about 2 years ago. And they needed that haughtiness to stop. They needed that clarity to stop. That feminine, that raw, real feminine energy, that I am who I am, always energy. It's something about that the world does not accept. Society does not accept. Society has one perception of what a woman is, okay? Usually caked up, made up, and filled up, okay, with all kind of shit in their body, in their cup, on their body, things like this, okay? Um, And then, you have what a natural woman would look like, in that she don't have to do all those things to be empowering. She don't have to do all those things to be beautiful. She don't have to do all those things to get attention. She don't have, like, somebody didn't want that to be shown necessarily, that, just an average everyday woman that may not even comb her hair every day could get some type of love from a masculine energy, a god, or from anybody like that. And I feel like this is what this is. It's an attack on that particular femininity that could form a different or more perfect union here. Okay. When it comes to American women uplifting themselves, healing themselves, and then standing up to these measures and things that have been, brought against them secretly, privately, in other realms and shit for so very long. Okay. I feel like there was some order with whatever was going on, but now it's chaos. All right. For people allowing low vibing energy to come into holy grounds, or come near a holy temple, vassal, person, whatever, vehicle. All right. Somebody knows this because they feel like they can defile that energy, or bring somebody down 10 notches, so that they can't be so sure of themselves. And I feel like these people are devastated because it's not going to be working with me, not this time in this motherfucking lifetime. You know what I'm saying? Again, most women, messiahs or leaders, they don't make it, I feel like, to a certain level here. And I feel like this is why this whole thing hasn't been televised on that level. Most like a king, and mm, and Malcolm X and them, at some point in time, they were taken out here, supposedly, allegedly. But I feel like there is some kind of something between, something about seniority, and something about some kind of actual love between a god and a goddess energy, which makes this person not want to harm them or change them, but maybe, rearrange the way they deal with them or something like this. But it's also feel like this masculine energy is not above me. If anything, we are equally yoked. All right. And I should have the same amount of say so as this person has, if not more, if not more, because of where we are, okay? And because of how America was formed prior to colonization. That is what we're talking about here. We're going back to the beginning, dealing with the tree and being mesmerized by it. You know what I'm saying? If the roots is not healthy on the tree, it's going to fall over and die anyway. The fruit is going to start coming out wrong, or spoiled, or spots and shit are going to be growing on the fruit. In the I think that's the first way to tell that a tree is sick, is the branches, the leaves, the fruit. You see what I'm saying? Those are the first indications. Hmm. Which makes me think about my trees that used to be in front of my house, at my old house, when I feel like me and the last tourists that I was familiar with were split. Those trees started becoming diseased. I wonder if that's when the relationship started to die, because I'm seeing something again. It may not be this situation, could be another one, but somebody, maybe like even somebody, Natalie, or I don't know, somebody's friend or something, somebody, a serpent wiggled their way into the garden here and changed something with a masculine energy and a feminine energy. But I feel like whatever this is very cowardice. Like, this is somebody that could be asked millions of times, is something going on? And they will say no, or either it's going on and they know that because of the dynamic of the relationship here. It's like a man that can't just say what's on their mind. It's almost like somebody knowing that they're with someone, right? And then, being not changing the dynamic of the home or anything like this, right? But they're dealing with all these people outside of the home, possibly to circle in on, say, his wife. He really doesn't. He's liking to play the field or something like that. He don't want to be with his wife no more. But instead of saying, "Hey, things aren't working out, let me do this person will go and rally up all these people energetically, spiritually, or something like this, to turn or become a anti-Christ energy, so he can be the only one running things. Like I said, it's something about that Yeshua Christ energy, where the Jesus usually tries to get, and maybe that's where we see that seizure Borgier energy, or some people saying that, like a thief in the night, like calling Jesus a thief or something like that, because there's always this essence of this masculine energy coming in, and maybe again with that Don Juan energy, with a femme fatale energy of a foreign feminine, to tear down the woman that is actually holding the real power as a matriarchal leader, which this is the way that it was in the Americas at one point in time. So I feel like there's this whole narrative here of them feeling like they won again by putting down, basically putting down, I mean, like putting down someone who is a good person. You know what I'm saying? Inside and out. I don't care what nobody say about me. I know myself. And I don't, and I'm telling you right now, I don't know when I haven't been genuine or a listening ear or a good friend to, but I can look around and tell you that I've never snaked one of my friends in that fucking way. I'm not saying that we haven't been a collective friends and it's like, girl, I don't know, when such and such came home last night, it smelled like he had some girl's perfume on, but I didn't want to say nothing, but I don't know, should I say something to her about what I feel or something like this? Like if we are all a group of friends and I'm just talking to one of the friends about one of the other friends, in a manner like that. You know what I'm saying? Or coming and saying, "Hey, I seen such and such, you know, um doing this. Do you think that is a problem? Do you think her drinking is getting out of hand? Should we talk to her about it?" You know what I'm saying? But just to sit there and just be like, she looked ugly in that dress. I've never been, I mean, I just cannot fucking recall. You know what I'm saying? I've always been there. Like I said, it's about being a friend and being a good friend. And then also people looking in the mirror at their own self and realizing, parts they could have played better in somebody's friendship or in somebody's life. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I dealt with a lot of people that I didn't realize at the time, because I've always been a giver, that they may have been cool with me, gave me rides, or if we went out to eat or something, they may have paid for a meal or something like this. But at the same time, if they needed somebody to fight a battle for them, I was there. If they wanted to really just be having fun and they just like my energy, I was there. You know what I'm saying? When if it comes to you trusting me around your man or anybody you fuck with, I'm good. You ain't never got to worry about that. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to talking about our problems, I feel like, you know, I may have been more of a listener than some other people. I feel like some other people always have been the ones where, we might start talking about my issue, but by the time that we leave, 90% of the conversation was about somebody else's issues. It's like that overcrowding of a conversation or something like this. It's just shit like that that I'm noticing here. It's always been, I feel like that with my family too, or like even with my mother aspect, and but I've just never been someone that be able to be silent. So maybe sometimes I would just commune with source about these things, about how I felt about these things, not wanting to embarrass or hurt somebody's feelings, but maybe like right there in the moment telling them, well, I think that you're just doing this because you think that you can, or you think you're more powerful than me, or you're abusing the fact that you're my mother to say that I can't, or my friend or whatever, or something, that I can't speak how I really feel here. So, but if it feels like somebody's not listening or respecting that, then I would just say, okay, I just jotted it down and I noted it. You know what I'm saying? Like I've never really done anything to try to be malicious. I've never felt any malicious way about not talking to my friends for a long time. It's just, I look at myself in the mirror and I say, yeah, you're just pretty much a fucking awesome person. You're not all that. You have your secrets, you have your ways, you have your things. But again, I look at myself as a well-rounded individual, but also always healing, growing, learning, seeing, knowing. It's just something that is just like a never-ending story for me, you know? But I feel like a lot of people over the past couple of years with the information that I've been sharing feel like I think I'm a know-it-all. No, I'm just, again, someone who'd like to share, seek out things and share them with people. And you can listen or you don't have to. You could believe it or you don't have to. It's not going to change what I think and what I see and what I know. Okay? So I feel like this whole thing is just going back and forth. It's a waste of time. It's a little bit embarrassing for humanity that thinks that they're so smart. Okay. Like I said, I always look at antiquity, because if you look at some of these temples and shit that have been built by people supposedly thousands of years ago, okay, with the technology, the intricacy, and all the things that have gone into things like this, okay. All right. And then you look at the shit that we build and make today that's trash, and we pay a lot more for it than we would have paid a long time ago. It's just something seems so ass backwards that I just don't even know. You can see a value in something that's authentic, real, raw, and true. And then you can try to go ahead and hijack that and ruin it and then build something up that's in the likeness of it just so you can control it. It's just, I don't know. I don't know, y'all. It's very embarrassing, if you ask me. It's very embarrassing because it's a lot easier way to do everything. It's just, it's so fucking embarrassing, especially America. It's just like I said, it's almost like somebody is exposing America's dirty draws. It's almost an enemy in thine gates and opening all old wounds of the Americas for people to look at, but they don't want to look at them. They just want to cover them up. The treatment of women we see on the surface, right? But we don't realize, or maybe we do, or maybe I'm just coming into the knowledge of this, that there has been also spiritual warfare being waged on women that could affect the way that they are in society or in public or things like this. And it's not all women. There's certain women that are targeted more than others. So this would be a masculine energy going in and finding your deepest secret, a God energy, and using his gifts to share them with the world. Even bitches that don't like you for no reason. This person know these people have no reason, but he's going to still use them as some type of missile or weapon to attack America. The mother, the real energy of mother, the motherland, which is in the Americas, the old world. Okay. It's kind of just really silly, I think. Because again, a lot of times I feel like, well, damn, even if a masculine energy was tired of playing with my energy, you could have just went on and left or something like this. But why try to slander someone? Why try to, assassinate their character if they really don't matter that much? Why do these other things? Why try to put them? I was reading my Lucifer demon card because it was on the top of the deck when I was leaving out of the sunroom, and it was showing like an angel, like a Cupid energy sitting on top of a pile of dead bones or heads or whatever. That gave me the Hierophant or a Hierophant energy too. Okay. But it said somebody that's a revealer of truth and a revealer like upstanding and shit like that. But at the bottom of the card, I feel like it also said sets up desires and something like that. So again, as long as you're talking about desirous energy here, this Lucifer energy may reflect very well with you. Um, hmm. But again, there's something wrong with you if you're not seeking these particular type of jewels or desires here, is what society is trying to make it seem like. If you're more about seeking those things that are within you. Hmm. It's always something that wants something to look outside of you. And if we get down to the bare minimal of it, what is wrong with a whole bunch of group of people, hundreds and thousands of people that see somebody struggling or being attacked or being bullied on a world scale? What was the one thing that that person did to you personally, or somebody else that you think that somebody deserves that type of treatment, even for a moment? Even for a moment, what is it that somebody did to you? Because I know that I'm talking to people that know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. All right. What is it that somebody has done to you really? Right? Or are you dealing with your own envious, jealous ways towards somebody just because of who they are? And you can't take what's raw, real, and authentic. So somebody has to paint somebody out to be the bad guy and be the scapegoat for all of the chaos that they've been serving on this planet. It's a way of making somebody feel outnumbered here. But by who? Crooks and nasty people that are ugly on the inside. And then you wonder why, again, things are going the way that they're going. Because it doesn't matter to many of these people until it gets their doorstep and then they want to be crying about it. Because someone didn't walk like you or dress like you or carry themselves like you. Or they're not of value. And I feel like that's why God made it that some of these people that people will be looking down on like that are going to be the ones that are going to be rising up to the top at some point in time. It's going to be a time when these people are going to be begging for righteousness. They're going to be begging for it. And because of the deep betrayal, they're going to reach their hands out and nothing is going to turn and look at them. Not God. There's something about mass manipulation, confusion spells, and all of this stuff that's going on right now that is just very, I think, sick and twisted. And we're not talking about these other factors, like I said, with this secondary or this dimensional world that is running alongside this so-called 3D plane here. These are people that should be being judged that are judging those that should not be for no reason. They're judging people for no reason. And instead of saying, just stop the shit right now, well, we have to figure out what we have to do. Let's go back and look in the record books. Well, in 1800 or right now here, common sense just tell you, you motherfuckers know what you're doing wrong. Why you don't stop the shit, make it right. Why you don't cut down whoever is doing the shit and go ahead and return what you've taken and do what the fuck you have to do. I mean, I don't understand. Why do we have to wait to wonder about a piece of wall when you know what the fuck supposedly, allegedly is going on at the wall? If you know the kind of corruption and shit that is going to lead to people that are not probably even privy of what's really going on, you know what I'm saying? Why don't somebody that do know what's going on just do something about it? I don't get it. it I, mm. But I guess because, like I said, there's been a disbursement of land entitlement allotments and shit like this. Same thing over and over again. They get them every time. Certain dispersing out of monies and properties and shit like this. All right, that people are they're being, it's like toys. They've been given some toys or whatever, and they're able to, you know, keep their mind off of the real things that are going on in the world here. The real way that people are being treated. A lot of these women that deserve to be held in high honor being held back or held down or bombarded by different energies, unwanted energy, shit like that. I feel like it just makes me real sad, I think, when I think about it. Because a lot of us are not even, a lot of you are really selfish. You're not even thinking about your children and their futures. You're only thinking about what you're doing now. So you don't care if the earth or the energy of the earth is being ruined right now. Because somebody sits here and has to go through all the motions. Somebody holds all those secrets in their Akashic. Somebody has to go with the motions here. So you want to ruin that Mother Earth energy that came to reign supreme this time and continue to build nations of broken children, okay? With things that are going on with these children emotionally, mentally, that you don't really realize, but it's really all of this extra evil, all these evil things, all of this other spell work, and all these other rituals and shit that these secret groups and stuff have been performing and practicing for a very long time. And you think that it's just being talked about on the level where this is in every small town. It's a festering, disgusting, wicked evilness that is going on right now. And everybody, because they're just trying to make it or they're on that hamster wheel or whatever, they're not realizing it. A faulty foundation every time. I think somebody said women create the tempo. But I wonder if that is foreign women or is that talking about American women? Are we talking about the real women that go through all those obstacles down here and as or down here or in this area where we talk about the commoners, peasants, and servants? Or are we talking about those that are up above as well in society or exalted in society? The ones that are down here or even supposedly in higher honored positions, but are getting less than they're deserving. Excuse me, because a whole God energy had to use all the people, all the children against this feminine energy to attack her. Law, money, all these particular things here, some type of humiliation, you know, competition. Yeah, I think it said Lucifer also stirs up envy and jealousy. And I feel like somebody knew that that wasn't going to happen with me. because I don't have to knock down the next chick to get where I'm going. But if she's in the way and she's attacking me, you will get your ass knocked right down. It's almost like taking that arrow and knocking your fucking block off very accurately from where I stand without having access to your energy. You bitches got to stalk me. You got to sit there and surveil me. You got to put a secret camera in my house and watch me. They know somebody that is a real empath that will hold somebody down, that will keep them in a lack mentality and energy. But since nobody, it's not like, that all eyes on me is very fucking draining. It's an honor, but it can be draining. And I feel like when masculines are done, when they know that the person is elevating or growing or gaining a little bit of momentum, then they want to go ahead and abandon ship and jump on to the next thing that they can suck from or do whatever they're going to do with. To the point where you don't even look at the person or the energy or God the same. The little G gods or these other twins or whatever, you can't even look at them the same. It's grotesque. It's like, and you not saying nothing makes you even more grotesque than you could ever try to make me look on camera by giving my secrets or selling them off or giving them off freely to other people that you want to uphold in a better light than me. It'll never work. You're going to always be reminded of who I was and what I meant to you and what I was to you. And you're always going to regret it. And you're never going to be happy. And so when God kicked them out of the garden or whatever and said, thorns and thistles, it's not because that's what she was given to them. It's because that's what's going to happen to you. I don't necessarily believe in karma, but I feel like there is something about making a bed and lying in it, and also doing something wrong and premeditated to someone that didn't deserve it on a level that they didn't deserve. And when the truth comes out, you're not going to have any reason, anything else but to be ashamed. And I'm at a point where, again, source started to separate me from people so I can see. And I feel like people got afraid when they was that. And so they decided to invade my privacy. So funny because my two pictures on the wall says, love abundantly and live simply. Something even about heart and soul here and our nest. It's funny because on that show, excuse me, Surface, that therapist was really working for the husband in them, right? And she was trying to make this woman feel bad about getting to know or digging deeper into what she thought she could find in her memories or her mental. And she was also getting a little bit jealous or getting some kind of way because, oh, girl, she thought that the girl didn't want to come to see her anymore. So the next time when she came, she said, I've noticed that you've been acting erratic and you've been acting like this, trying to like put her down. Like, it's almost like she got back in fear, like she was going backtracking on her healing process, you know, or that, now you're going to need to do this. It's almost like putting her in her place or some shit like that. But with the conservatorship, she could have secret conversations with the husband without even involving the wife. It's almost like what I see energetically happening around here within the past year. Taurus and his family and my family. These are people that hadn't called and checked on me, not that much, if any, or I hadn't seen in years, but were making assumptions because they were sneaking around, not letting me know that they were on my channel, but on my channel watching my videos and making assumptions from what they were seeing on them. And trying to build up some case for mental illness so that they can have a conservatorship possibly over me and my child, or custody over my child. And I called it out This is all since 14 to 40 years old. I don't remember my parents and his parents ever having a conversation, but even his parents were hearing one side of the story and then going to my to put these women into some type of servitude here that held themselves at high honor. They're mad because nobody needed a man to hold them at high honor. They were already doing that for themselves, and they needed to bring women down a notch. And I feel like that's why I'm seeing all this nakedness flooding across Facebook and other things now popping up now. Okay, just women in their bra and panties, women that I looked at and held in high honor because of the way they carried themselves at one point in time. And I'm like, this bitch is naked on here? Like, oh my goodness, that is crazy. In her bra and panties, she was just married, you know what I'm saying, and very conservative like a year or two ago. What the hell happened? Never really showing their body or anything. So being like, in their bra and panties. Their bra and panties. I'm not talking about no bikini or nothing. Every day I have to delete at least 3 of these women off of my timeline. But I guess the secret is not what's going on that we see on the surface. That means that this metaverse energy or whatever this is has been able to use its tentacles to go ahead and deal with the subconscious or control or mind control these women on some kind, or lock them in, by blackmailing them. Hey, we have some images of you. We, don't worry about how we got them. But if you don't continue to do this, then we are going. What is this? It's almost like forcing women back into whoredom or something like this, when we were just pulling ourselves out of whatever we went through from, again, the derogatory messages that we were getting in movies and music and shit when it comes to so-called, especially Black women. We were the only ones in the world that could be degraded and disrespected like we were and be okay with that and sharing that shit with our children for a couple of generations now. All right? So they figure they're going to your subconscious or somewhere else and start to dismantle or disfigure. And also bringing also masculine energy that's on a low vibrating level into it too, to throw some balance off, your pH balance or just balance in general. They were fearful of what was happening with women, but they weren't messing with anyone. They were working on themselves, working on businesses, working on being entrepreneurs and self-starters, and encouraging other women and doing all these other things and giving information and shit like that. But I feel like it's over now. Everything is plastic. People are going into what makes them money most and fast, and that's what the fuck they're doing. It doesn't have nothing to do with the actual purity of the thing anymore. There's a couple of people that are still authentic and true. Other than that. So again, this is just another little rant or whatever. I said it was going to be a quickie, but it wasn't. But I feel like this is the thing. You have to realize what people are doing. This is a whole mind game right here. All right. It's to make you think that there's no other choices but whatever they're trying to chop down and then exalt above that. It's about mind control. It's about creating a narrative and having people flow with that, even if it's not the best idea. Just mainly to continue to go against what's, again, raw, real, authentic, true, that brings balance.